Welcome to the Business Behind the Scene podcast with Francesca Moi, where we talk all about real business problems, real solutions, and getting actual results in your business. Hello and welcome to episode number 52 of this podcast. Well, today we're talking about problems. Your problems seems impossible in your business, right? I know, I get it, because I've been in business for 6 years and I can guarantee you that I have been through so many problems, overcame so many problems. Now, the reason why I'm talking about this today is because we're getting to the end of the year, and every year I look back and I look at all the problems that I overcame this year and I go, wow, how the hell did I keep going throughout this crazy year, right? There's been so many obstacles along the way, so many problems, so many things that come up that if I had the belief that problems are impossible to overcome, I would never be able to be here right now talking to you. So what happened is that when we start a business, we just believe that, we look at people that have a business and we go, oh, that's fantastic. All you need to do is to have a business, have clients, and you're going to be super okay. And nothing else will happen, right? And we don't expect to have problems. Literally, I was talking about problems and there was a massive cockroach behind me as I was speaking, and I just couldn't help it. So I had to so there was a problem, right? There was a problem. I tried to pretend that the problem wasn't there while I was talking to you guys, and I couldn't. So I had to stop this podcast, go and get one of my team to come and rescue me. Nobody wanted to really put their hand up to save me from the cockroach. I know that it sounds ridiculous, but legit, you cannot record a cockroach you cannot record a podcast with a cockroach looking at you. Okay, you now know that it's my phobia. Cockroaches and spiders are my phobia. So here we go. I'm safe now. Nothing, no cockroaches around here, so I can continue talking about problems in business. Isn't that amazing? So what I wanted to say is that a lot of people think that they're going to start a business and nothing is going to stop them, right? Because there's not going to be any problems. If they do everything right, they're never going to get to any problems. But that is not the reality. The reality is that business problems are part of the business, right? You're going to go through problems because problems are actually opportunities for us to, improve, to make things better, to take things to the next level. So I actually choose to see problems as a tool that would help me to become a best version of myself, right? So problems are made for us to grow. And if we we actually avoid problems. If we try to put problems under the rug, eventually we're going to stop. We're going to stop growing. We're going to stop being able to do things. So I have learned how to deal with problems at the point that I became a really good problem solver. And I was so proud of being a problem solver that eventually I started to create problems because so I could feel good, because my biggest when I was more useful was solving problems. So if there was no problems, I wasn't that useful. So I literally had to work on myself to stop creating problems so that I could be a problem solver. That was one of the things. Then what also happened in my business that I started to hire problem solvers, and eventually my business outgrown those people too. So I had to let go of the problem solvers and just have a business with people that could actually follow the procedures so that they wouldn't create problems in the business. So those are some of the things that happened. But one of the biggest problems this year, we had lots of problems this year, but one of the biggest one was back in January when 3 of my team left in 1 week, right? 3 people left in 1 week. They were not, I think you guys, some of you know that I tried to have a partner in business and last year, and it was a bit of a failure. It didn't work at all. The business didn't grow from it. We didn't learn much from it, and it was really a bad mistake. So that was a problem. So because of that partnership that wasn't going well, obviously that broke the culture in the business, which means that got 3 team members to leave in a week. Now, obviously, those 3 people were meant to leave regardless of the partnership that I was going through or not. But in the same time, it was devastating because when three people leave your business, you think that you're done. So that was the first biggest problem that I went through in 2020. And I was like, okay, what am I going to do now? I'm done. And then once I start to slowly recover from that, then I've hired the people, and then COVID happened. And then I'm like, good, fantastic. Thank you, universe. One more problem. And this one is a big one. And honestly, the first thing that people do when there is problem is that they just pretend they're not there. We just go in avoidance, we go in denial, we go problems. No, problems don't exist. And it was really hard for me to overcome it, because I was like, wait, I just had this huge problem. These three people left in my team. I had lots of procedures, but I found out when those three people left that nobody was actually, no, none of those three people were keeping the procedures up to date as I asked them to. So I decided to spend literally every evening for 3.5 weeks. Every evening I would just work on the procedures and create all the procedure for the business, so that I didn't have to go through again panic when someone leave. I'll be like, well, just get someone else and go through the procedure, and boom, we're gonna be fine. So I just finished all of that. I worked so hard to make all that happen. Then COVID happened, and I'm like, no, I wasn't ready for another problem. And a lot of us, we go through denial, as I said before, and then once you go through denial and you just can't keep denying, eventually you need to face reality, and eventually you need to go through acceptance. And with acceptance, sometimes we just go, I can't see a way out, right? I'm accepting there is a problem, and I don't see there is a solution to this. But the good news is that every single problem come with a solution. Every single problem. There is never a problem that doesn't have a solution. So for me, it was so important to go, all right, COVID is real. It's not just my business. Everybody is shutting down. And obviously, as you know, I used to be all offline. All my tours, all my national tours, all my events, all my workshops. I used to run 32 half-day workshops across Australia every single year. And I was just getting ready to start my first national tour. I was actually halfway through it. So I'm like, wait, what? No. So after denial, and after I said, okay, well, I'm accepting I can't do events, I was like, but then what? How am I going to survive? How am I going to pay the bills? How am I going to pay my staff? How am I going to do this? I was so in panic. I was so terrified. And I was afraid that this hard work that I had for the last 4 years, 4.5 years in this business, everything was going to fall apart. I was literally terrified. I didn't know what I was going to do next. And I had to find a way to do it. So what I did is that I started to study what other people that were in my same industries were doing. I started to contact them. I started to have a chat and conversation with people that are like-minded, that are going through the same things. And thanks to that, I was able to go, right, they're moving online. I can do it too. I started to pivot, change, test, and pretty much start from scratch, because selling online and selling offline is two completely different ball game. So that was something that it was really scary for me. And I did my first event and I converted zero, and I was terrified, and I said, how am I gonna ever make this business work? But then also, because of that, I realized how many gaps this business had. We had no other ways to monetize our business, so I had to find other ways. I had to really work on my mindset to understand that I had only one way to make money. So I had to really, really, really expand my brain and trying to understand, all right, what else am I going to do to make this business survive? And thank goodness the COVID happened, because thanks to COVID, then I was so fast at creating other programs. So for example, I created a certification program that now we had already 10 people that are about to finish the first certification course. We've got already other people that are joining the second certification group. And those people are now going to be coaching, working. Some of them are working in my business to coach my clients. So it's quite powerful how I was able to create products to be able to remove me from delivering everything and having other team members doing that for me. So there has been so much growth thanks to that problem. So every time you have a problem, you want to think about, how is this problem going to be a blessing one day? How is this problem going to be the best thing for me, for the business, for people around me? And I'm not saying that COVID, that all the people that died, and I'm not saying that that is a good thing. I'm saying that from every problem, from every tragedy, from every disaster, we can find the good, we can find the blessing, we can find the grace in it. And that was my grace. My grace was that I was able to move online, which means now we have online. We got Mafians in Canada, in the US. We got clients everywhere, and that's because of COVID. Right, we were able to bring my workshops more online, and we ran the 3-day workshops online. And the first one was a little bit harder, but now we run already 4, and we become expert at it. Right, so now next year we're planning to do half of them online and half of them offline, so that we can make everybody happy. The people that love online stuff, they can just come to the online. People love the offline, they come to offline, and that's it. So it's been incredible, the growth of the business since COVID happened. The next thing that was a huge problem is that back in 2019, I launched a mastermind that was a little bit of a flop. It didn't really work that well. People were not following the strategies. People were paying but not doing anything. And it was quite devastating. I didn't know what to do. I didn't know how to solve it. And I had to really work on myself, to understand that, okay, I didn't want to give up on it, but in the same time, I had to restructure it. I had to change things. So what are we doing now? Thanks to that problem that people did not find it valuable. Well, the value was there, but people would not open it. People would not do it. So what we did is that we are now able to restructure this mastermind for an incredible Facebook marketing mastery course. Is a 12-module course put together, and we're going to launch that in December this year. And it's been incredible how so many people just think, oh, doesn't work, it was a waste of time, let's just throw it away. Instead, what you can do is that a lot of the time when you have a problem, you can find a solution to like repurpose something or find other ways to make that happen. So the tips to overcome your problems would be, first and foremost, work on your mindset. Because when we have and face a problem, a lot of us go into fight and just go in that feeling of like, I don't see any solution. I don't see a way to get out of this. I don't want to get out of this. So it's really important that we understand that we have to change our mindset. What if this is a blessing? What if there is grace in this? What if this meant to be happening? What if I'm going to learn something from this? So first thing we do is need to change our mindset around seeing problems as impossible, seeing problems as not overcoming them. So when we see problems from that place, we're not going to be able to solve them. So changing our mindset really, don't let the problems keep us down and keep us low, but find a way to raise above the problems and find the solutions. So sometimes it's about taking a step back as well. There's a problem and people want to solve it straight away, and in a rush you never do anything properly. So really step away from it and understand that it's part of everything that we do, right? It's part of growth. And when you understand that, then you're going to see problems as opportunities. What if, looking back at all the problems that you have faced this year, what if you just see each and every one of them as an opportunity? What if you start to make a list of all the problems that you have ever faced and find the blessing, the grace, the opportunity in it? Because at times we regret things, which I don't believe in regret. And I find also myself regretting things, right? I don't believe in it, but I also do it because it's like, oh my gosh, I wish that never happened. I wish I didn't fall for that. I wish I didn't believe that person. I wish I didn't get in touch with that person, right? I wish I didn't, but then you can't. It's not fair that we do that to ourselves, because problems are there. Problematic problems, problematic clients, any of that, it's always an opportunity for us to improve, to get feedback, to grow, to make things better. So I truly believe of doing that. And always look at problems to overcome it, to just go in with a strategy, with a mindset of going, okay, I know how to solve problems, I've done it before, I can do this. And just go in with a mindset of going, I know how to do this, I've done it before, instead of thinking I can never get over this. Problems are never ever impossible to solve. So if you had this type of mindset in business, how do you think you're gonna live? right? So I had the other day, I even said, "Oh, I'm done with dealing with problems." But the truth is, if we didn't have problems, we would be bored. We would be so bored. It would be incredible the amount of boredom that we'll be going through when there's no problems. You'll be like, what do I do now? You will create problems, right, to make your life a little bit more interesting. People create dramas all the time. So I would like us to appreciate the problems rather than trying to avoid them, because we spend our lives trying to avoid problems. We want to have try to avoid problems in a relationship. It's impossible. Every fight that you have with someone, it would bring you closer. Every time that you avoid the fight, that's when it's going to get harder and harder, right? So really think about problems will get you closer to the best version of yourself. And that is powerful. When you are a business owner and that's how you see problems, opportunities will come everywhere for you. So you guys, thank you for listening today, and sorry about my cockroach experience today, but that was one of the problems. I could not speak with having a guest looking at me the whole time. So I had to stop, get rid of the problem, and then I was able to keep going. So sometimes in business, you will have to pause things, stop, revisit, find a strategy, change your mindset, and you're going to be able to keep going with it. So thank you so much, everybody, for listening. I will talk to you next week. Hey, if you enjoyed listening to this podcast, then you have to come and check out my Facebook group, Entrepreneurs Abundance Mindset. It's a community of over 9,000 business owners that are also ready to boom their businesses. Don't forget to also hit the subscribe button on this podcast and leave a review so that you can win a ticket to my Invisible to Invincible workshop. I'll see you next week.